Icarus Week 231, new unique fish and optimizations. This week we get new fish that you can fish up in Icarus on different maps, and 4 new unique fish, including Blinky, the radioactive fish. They also have lots of texture optimizations as well. There are now 4 unique fish species to Icarus that they added, 1 per map, plus a rare catch found only in the mushroom swamp on Elysium. And they did a lot of LOD changes and texture optimizations for knives, guns, bows, spears, ammo, and fish to save more memory while playing. And also next week we get the legendary timber extraction unit. This week's notable improvements are the optimized knife, gun, spear, and fish LODs, saving tons of memory, and also ammo, arrow, bolt, and grenade textures as well. And spears will be less erratic whenever dropped. They also changed recipe list category orientation for easier viewing of the categories, and they modified the health values of the little baby slugs in the hammerhead slug fight after you broke a cocoon. This week, texture optimizations. We'll kind of go over this really quickly. Basically, what they're doing is they are reducing the amount of memory that you use for textures without changing the quality of the textures, and allows accessibility for lower end hardware, shorter load times, and less visual glitches. And they also go in to say basically they do this by hand and use a tool as well, a custom tool that helps them determine if something needs to be downsized or not. And they hope to have a better gradual increase in performance over time because of all these changes. And this week we get Blinky and the Elysium fish map. Blinky is a new mutated fish that can only be found in the Elysium region within the mushroom swamp, kind of fleshing out that zone a little bit and its uniqueness. They've also updated the Elysium fish map. It has its own zones now instead of kind of reusing layouts from other maps. And it should make exploration feel more tailored and consistent with the new environment. So Blinky may seem like an ordinary fish, but it has some unusual properties beneath the surface. These won't be immediately obvious as there's something they plan to expand upon and explore further in future updates. So he is just kind of an ordinary fish for now. Also, a quick mention, this week we get new unique fish subspecies. Each of the maps have a new fish to discover and catch. You have the Emerald Wraith on Olympus, Coral Tang on Styx, and the Spotted Gar on Prometheus. They say these additions can be found at different locations across those different maps, and they encourage you to explore a bit more thoroughly to help track them down. They recommend using the fish device, which can be purchased from the Orbital Workshop. They do plan on expanding the fishing system further, and that will include adding more visible presence of fish in the world, also adding new rods with different properties, and creating more uses for fish beyond decoration and food. So here we are in the absolutely gorgeous mushroom biome, one of my favorite biomes in the whole game. And we're going to do some fishing. Got us a refined rod here. Going to use this I guess saltwater. We probably use a rubber lure. And we're going to give it a go. See if we can't find us a Blinky.
One eternity later.
And it looks like we may have found our first Blinky. See if we can reel him in here. And I'll show you guys where we found him at and how we're going to get him. Got him. Catch a fish while being irradiated. Blinky. We are going around and fishing in all the wrong places. Guys, what you have to do is come down to this section right here of the swamps right here around I-16, the bottom of I-15, and right here in this large pond right here is where we found Blinky. We fished up and down these rivers for at least 2 hours and didn't find a single thing until we got down here. And you have to make sure you're in radiation. You can see in the top right of our screen, we are currently in radiation, and that is where you're going to find Blinky in this little pond here, and also little mushrooms around. He is a freshwater fish that's rare and a unique fish to boot. And we actually caught him on the rod with a jelly lure, to be honest with you, the white jelly lure. And isn't he so cute? Ish. Cute-ish. I feel like I'm being watched. And next week we get the Timber Extraction Unit. That is the new legendary item called Timber Extraction Unit. It's a high-powered chainsaw that can engage in melee combat or can launch blades that fell trees from a distance. And that can be upgraded like all legendary gear at the Biolab. We're gonna skim over the change log here. See if there's anything important. Lead line box under fixed. I don't think we have that yet, but rename prevention radiation to prevent radiation spread for clarity. Looks like they added supporting lights for the natural oil refinery on state. Switch the Leica variant dogs to have a saddle slot so they can equip the Leica vest. Talking about the lead line box again and future content here. Molotov? Bow crossbow rad boss. And they're talking about the legendary chainsaw again, which we're getting next week. And they added art assets for the damaged heavy speeder and heavy speeder backpack. And that looks like that's it for this changelog. And that's going to be it for this video. Don't forget, if you like what you see, to like, comment, subscribe, and all that good stuff. Subscribe will get you more Icarus videos just like this one. And hopefully, we'll see you next time. Peace.